So could you introduce yourself, please?
So my name is Matt Campion. I'm Creative Director for Spirit Digital Media.
Okay, and Spirit Digital Media is?
We are a multi-platform content creation agency that works with broadcasters, with brands and with talent.
Okay, so you've been working on some pretty innovative ways that traditional TV can work with online platforms like YouTube. Maybe you could tell me about one or two case studies?
Yeah, so one of our long-standing partnerships is with Monkey Kingdom, who produced Made in Chelsea for Channel 4, E4. And we've been producing content across multiple series with Made in Chelsea for the last 2 or 3 years. And one of the ways that I think they use YouTube effectively is to produce TV quality in terms of production value, short form content starring the cast of Made in Chelsea, and usually quite tongue-in-cheek, quite humorous. It has a comedy angle. So recently they did a Game of Sloanes, playing on a Game of Thrones viral. In fact, this series, which kicks off on Monday, they did a mini Chelsea where they did a sort of a Bugsy Malone type sort of scenario where they had little kids playing all the characters from Made in Chelsea. And series by series, these YouTube clips, viral. I usually say that you can't plan a viral because that's probably not the idea behind the word, but actually, they've got such an engaged social fan base. One of the highest engaged social fan bases of a Channel 4 property. So whenever they launch these promos pre-season, they tend to drive hundreds of thousands of views. Which inevitably it gives them a great first TX.
So that helps the audience of the TV show, and could also maybe give them new ideas for future shows.
Yeah, well, the theory that we've all been working towards for a long time is that Made in Chelsea is only on every Monday when it's actually when it's on television. So how do you create content and a place for fans that are super fans to engage with the brand continuously, because it's becoming a very big brand for the broadcaster and for Monkey Kingdom. How do you continue to engage the fans when the show's not on air? And that's really important when you're wanting to build loyalty, build your audience, and and have a highly engaged fan base.
Mm. You mentioning an example with Ant and Dec as well?
Yeah, so last weekend we were hired to spin off Ant and Dec's Saturday night takeaway. So as soon as the show finished on ITV1, we went live immediately onto YouTube. We gave it a different look. We went handheld. The boys were able to control that camera. They were able to spin it around and show the camera guys wrapping up their peds. We saw the warm-up guy doing his thanks at the end. So the idea of the show was to give the fans that are really loyal to Ant and Dec a sort of a glimpse at what their life is like when they're not sort of on the big shiny television stage. As soon as the cameras finished rolling, and the guys also took a ton of questions from Twitter. We had Paddy McGuinness, Peter Andre, Ashley Roberts. They all joined in, taking questions from people at home live, and also as well we ended up in the studio audience where they were actually able to ask a few questions for a change. So I've actually already been pitching this stuff for the last year or so, but I really hope that we start seeing for the fans. I hope that we start seeing content that starts on YouTube or starts on television, and then resolves itself on the other platform, so that fans can have continual content being pushed to them. Because if you're a fan of the show that's only on weekly, then what do you do during the middle of the week? And is there anything that you can do to build your fan base we know now that social media is so important. You know, YouTube is a social media platform. So if you can create the right content for the platform that resolves itself in a television show, then I really think that is the holy grail.
Great. Thank you very much.
Cool.